Hi Pisces, welcome back to those of you who are already part of our community, and welcome to those of you who are new. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jackie. I post weekly messages for each of the astrological archetypes. I combine tarot with astrology, numerology, and psychology. I do recommend checking out your rising sign first, then your sun sign, then your moon. The moon has to do with your inner emotions, your inner world. And if you have some extra time, also check out your Venus placement as well. If you're not sure of your placements, but you know what time you were born, check out any of those free birth chart calculators online. I recommend this for the most holistic and complete understanding of all of your energies, for sure. So remember, these are general messages for the astrological archetype, not a personal reading. I'd have to know your personal birth placements to understand how the current transits are communicating with your individual energies for that. So that said, I always suggest taking what resonates and throwing out the rest, right? Can't hit everybody 100% all the time. If you like my energy, please find, and you find any value in them, please consider subscribing. Alrighty, so let's start off with an oracle read, and then I'm going to timestamp below, by the way. Okay, I always do. Start off with an oracle, and then oracle read, and then we'll go into a Celtic cross spread, general for all aspects of life, and then we'll break into 3 different relationship reads: singles, couples, and complicated. Okay, so these readings have been kind of long, so go get a drink, get something to eat, pull your chair up, and use the timestamps if you don't want to hang out for the whole thing, right? All right, so let's pull these and see what's going on. All right, let's pull one more. So it's all about the new moon in Cancer this week, and also I think it's also about Chiron retrograde. Nice. Chiron's going retrograde on the 15th all the way through December. I really like this energy. And for you Pisces, it's happening in Aries. It's happening in Aries for everybody, but in your second house of money, things of value, things that matter to you, your sense of self, your sense of self-concept. There's so much healing going on here. I love it, love it, love it. Now, as far as this moon energy goes, it's hanging in there with the sun, and it's happening in Cancer in your 5th house, and it's sitting across the wheel from Pluto. So there's a lot of change that's going on in your area of relationship, of romance, of friendships, of entrepreneurial efforts, of things you like to do because you like to do it. There's a lot of focus here. You can be feeling very, very sensitive when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to children as well. The idea of children, right? Just a very empathetic, very intuitive energy. So your spidey senses are going to be turned way up. I mean, you guys are already so intuitive, right? As the landlords of the 12th house, but your spidey senses are going to be very, very turned up with a lot of focus on relationship, falling in love, love affairs for some of you. Spidey senses are going to be way up for those of you who are parents. Your kids aren't going to be able to get anything over on you right now. You're going to be very intuitive when it comes to your friendships, people that you're dealing with. So very interesting energy. I like it. I feel like you're not going to be dealing with it as I guess as much as an external manifestation than a lot of other energies. I did mention this last week when I focused more on the fixed T-square. That's going to be really impacting. It's impacting everybody. Definitely for the rest of the month. All fixed square energy, wherever the rather fixed energy that you have in your chart, it's going to be impacting you in that area for the rest of the year. So we have sadness being clarified by yin. Yin is sensitive. Yin is female. So this is emotions. This is deep emotions and facing your shadow. This is really looking at your sensitivities, Pisces. Sadness about something having to do with either some sort of feeling just very sad about either a female in your life. It could be a mother, a sister, a friend. Or this could just be you being very deeply in touch with your emotions. I mean, look, Saturn is in your 12th house right now. So I feel like you are going through a lot of things from the past. It's sort of in tension with this Mars and Venus energy in your 6th house of mental, physical, and emotional health. So I feel like there's a lot of processing going on for you right now. And some of you maybe even be communicating with somebody or communicating about somebody that's kicking up this energy of nostalgia, this energy of missing, of sadness. Yeah. because Uranus is in your third house. So something surprising coming in the third house of communication that's kicking up these feelings, right? Yeah. But, you know, look, I mean, this is trining Pluto. The Uranus energy is trining Pluto in your 11th house of where you see yourself going in the world. So what I do like is I feel like something is coming in, some sort of communication is going to be coming into you that's really going to help kind of, I'm not even going to say catapult, but allow change and transformation for you to move forward, which I think is really nice, even if you're struggling a little bit emotionally, right? Because it is, Uranus and Saturn are in that annoying square. Just, you know, Neptune and Jupiter are in your first house of self. So you might just be feeling a little confused about something, or a lot of confused. And when it's in the first house, it could have to do with any part of your life, Pisces, keeping it real. Could have to do with relationship. I feel like mostly with relationship because it sits opposite the 7th house. But it really could have to do with any part of your life. So we have wild, we have milk and honey, and we have go for your dreams. So wild means taking a chance in something that you really normally would not do. This is like stepping onto the wild side. So if you're normally somebody who likes to be very careful, or if you're like, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to call that person, I'm not going to take that risk, that chance, I'm not going to do it, go towards the very thing that's scaring you. That's the very thing that you're supposed to go towards. Milk and honey, because milk and honey is all about something that feels very safe and very, maybe safe is not the right word, nurturing. Something that feels very nurturing to you. Right? Milk and honey, it's comfortable. Something that's almost like this metaphorical home space for you. And go for your dreams. So if you're really afraid to ask that person out, if you're really afraid to launch that project, if you're really afraid to put yourself out there in any way, shape, or form, having to do with any part of life, this is like, go for it. Go for it. Because you're so supported here. How teachable are you? Something that we need to look at. Exchanging gifts and love yourself. Okay, so how teachable are you when it comes to relationships, partnerships of all kind? That includes friendships, any sort of family connections, obviously intimate partnerships, even in business. Do you tend to sort of dig your heels in? And again, I don't know you, so what else might aspect your chart? But how teachable are you in allowing yourself or a situation to be flexible, you know, because this really does need to be about exchanging gifts, meaning you say what you need and you hear what somebody else needs, the ability to have that exchange. This is what I need, this is what you need, this is what the situation or the relationship needs, right? But while you're doing that, Pisces, make sure you're loving yourself, because, you know, and I always say this to you guys are like fish food for narcissists, people who can have narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying that everybody's a narcissist that you deal with. I'm just saying that you're a very giving energy, right? You really are. You're a very, you know, Virgo is mostly the of service energy, right? We could say that, but you are this energy that is very nurturing, very giving. And a lot of times you can end up on the lousy end of the situation. And we talk about that a lot on this channel. So you want to be careful of that. So how do you avoid that? Well, first of all, make sure that you're not exercising a victim mentality. Super important always for Pisces to recognize, right? Wherever our Pisces is in our chart, we all have to be mindful of that. You know, making sure that we're understanding a situation based in the reality that it actually is happening in, or that it happened in, and be very kind to ourselves as we work through, all right, what's real, what's not? Am I blowing something out of proportion, or is this really like this? And okay, what's fair, what's not? And sort of going through, working recursively, having to do with that business situation, that relationship, that friendship thing, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you are going through a lot of changes, particularly Pisces are going through a lot of changes in their friendships. You know, with Pluto in that 11th house, it's about endings and beginnings and the need to transform something. So you might be in this space where you're like, you know, my friends just don't align with my purpose anymore. I just don't feel like we're in the right space. Now, some of you are going to be sort of transforming relationship with your friends. Others of you are not. And a lot of it may have to do with the fact that you are doing a lot of there's a lot shifting in your life, right? You have Mercury in the North Node in that 4th house energy, Pisces. So this is a lot of like signing contracts on that new house, some sort of gift coming in having to do with home, or some sort of gift coming in as far as work that's going to allow you to feel a lot stronger and a lot more strong in your foundation. And you might not get the understanding or the support from your friends that you would ideally like. So it's the different ways that that could manifest. So those are just some general oracles to set up for this Celtic cross spread. So let's get right into that. Celtic cross spread for our Pisces friends. Any messages of Pisces? You are the Queen of Cups, being challenged by 4 of Cups. So hard, King of Swords energy. That's the advice, but it's like, okay, try not to let your heart get in the way of anything, your emotions. Focus on your mind instead of your heart. That's very hard for Pisces. Well, that's hard for anybody when they have heavy water, obviously. So, starting out, coming into this energy, we have the Ace of Coins. So some of you might have been in the situation where you got a new job, but honestly, this is auspicious for every area of your life, honestly. Really good energy for happiness and contentment, getting what you desire, coming to you quickly, you being shown how to achieve what it is that you want, and it's going to end up bringing you to this foundation of stability. I mean, but that's like you were very much in the I need to move on, I need to do something new, but I feel like something did come to you in the past. So it might have been like an opportunity to move into a new place, something to do with property, real estate, some sort of new offering having to do within the career that you're in or the job, but something new. Ace of Pentacles is really great, maybe meeting a new relationship, being in that relationship. That's in the past. Right now, you're in the Queen of Cups energy, Gemini and Cancer. Okay, so you might be dealing with a Gemini into or Cancer, but this is the energy of falling in love. For those of you in the resonating with this as a relationship read, deepening of love, emotional honesty about what's needed to make something work. Right, very beautiful energy here. But this is also a very important conversation to communicate about what you need to feel secure and safe in something. So this could show up even having to do with some sort of contractual agreement or anything in work, or even anything in having to do with your friend group, because Gemini, being ruled by Mercury, it's the 3rd house, landlord of the 3rd house of communication. It's sitting down and trying to work something out in a different way, right? And Cancer has to do with that ability to feel safe and secure. Some of you guys are going to be negotiating, especially because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury's in your 4th house right now, so is the North Node. So you might be doing some negotiating about a house right now, trying to negotiate a price that you feel comfortable with, that you feel secure moving forward with. That's going to be for some of you. But for others of you, it could just be this general conversation about what it is that you need, to feel very secure in something. But what's challenging you here, the current challenge, is the 4 of Cups energy. So the 4 of Cups, what is that? It's restlessness, it's boredom, it's disillusionment. It's like, am I ever going to meet that right person? Am I ever going to be in that job that I want to get into? Am I ever going to get the deal that I'm looking for? Is this ever going to work out, right? It's like that checklist energy, right, that I always talk about with the 4 of Cups. I can't be with them because they did this, this, and this. And that's not going to work in business or in that family situation because of this, this, and this. And you may be 100% right, or you may be 80% right, and 20% maybe in a space of misunderstanding. Who knows? Whenever we get the 4 of Cups energy, there's this need to sit back and recognize that there needs to be some healing of some sort of past unhealed issue. Not a big dramatic thing. This is a minor arcana. Small changes can go a long way. And it could just simply be like, all right, what's my role in all of that kind of thing, But really getting in touch with you saying, all right, maybe I'm being a little aggressive or a little too forgiving or a little too giving in this particular area. However, it can manifest, just because I want to make something work, or or you're worried about your security moving forward. So maybe you're being a little more forthright with something. You just want to make sure that the scope through which you're viewing everything is very clear, Pisces. And the reason I'm saying that is when Neptune, I mean, you know, you're comfortable with Neptune. Neptune's your ruler. But with Neptune in that first house, with Jupiter retrograde for you, there's a lot of fog. So think about when we're out on a very foggy day, or we're on the top of a mountain where it's foggy. We could kind of make out what's there, but we sort of have to do our own element of filling in. So in the first house, you might be kind of foggy in any area of your life, especially if it has to do with a relationship or a contract, just because it's sitting right across the wheel. So let's look at the current situation with the basis of what's going on now. So right now we have the Hermit energy. I like this for you. This is Virgo. This is problem-solving energy. Problem-solving. So some of you, because Virgo is aspecting your 7th house, you might be in this space where you're trying to figure out something regarding a relationship. You might be like, all right, let me think about what happened the last time I was with that person, or let me think about what's been going on in this relationship. Let me think about past experiences. And you being in this space where it's like, okay, if I keep doing what I did, I'm going to keep getting what I got. So I have to recognize I need to have a different strategy as far as moving forward, having to do with this business situation, this relationship, this family situation, anything like that. But that's that Hermit energy, right? Sitting back and saying, okay, I think I need to take a different approach, right? You need to take a different approach. And this is working with the Hierophant energy. So some of you might be dealing with, okay, I need to take a different approach in this marriage, in this serious relationship. I might need to take a different approach as far as maybe I need to change up my expectations. Maybe I need to change up how committed I am to something, or maybe I have to be a little more understanding of how committed somebody else wants to be or can be. It's very much about emotional development, the needing to conform to something, right, in a very practical way. But I like it because very healthy mindset here, right? And here you are at the King of Swords, right? This is the suggested approach is really using your logic and staying outwardly calm and sort of playing it cool a little bit. Using that sound logic, playing it cool, all that, no emotions in the situation. It's not to suggest that you lie about it. It just means, all right, let something roll out as it's going to roll out. You're there, you're going to be communicating, but play it a little bit cool. Play it a little bit cool. Now, the energy external to you, we have the scale. So this is really good. If whoever's like negotiating anything, I feel like there's big change anyway. Scorpio is transiting your, right now Scorpio is in your 9th house, which is all about transformation, endings and beginnings and changes in your house of negotiation. And Libra is currently in your 8th house, which is the Justice energy, which has to do with like bottom line, like the money that you get from that contract being signed, or the blending of resources with a partner, the blending of intimacy, the blending of lives, right? So things happening in a very fair and balanced way. Somebody is very aware of this. Somebody wants that with you. So the Libra energy is also, Libra, which is the Justice energy, is also indicates the lower courts. So if you're dealing with anything like, anything from like a divorce, signing the contracts for a house, signing a lease for a business, anything like that, that would be this kind of energy. And coming up with like a really good win-win situation for somebody, for both of you rather. It's about fairness. Remember, Justice is Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is very, very concerned not only about our emotional needs being met and our financial needs, but things being equitable and fair. So here I see you, Pisces, you're playing it cool, you're letting things, and like until there is some sort of win-win situation met, which I do like that. Now let's look at your challenge here. The challenge is the 6 of Coins. So I feel like for some of you, I mean, this is a property energy. This is a property. For some of you, the challenge might be in being able to roll out some sort of inheritance situation in a healthy way. Some of you might be struggling with somebody not being very generous in your life right now, right? It could be that. It's this idea of debt and one-sided charity. Be careful if you are either experiencing it within yourself or with somebody else, this idea of selfishness. but you might be struggling right now as well, even if it has nothing to do with, because coins is not only, the coin energy is not only money, it's mental, physical, emotional connection. So you might be in this space of struggling to figure out how you feel about a person, a situation, a relationship, whatever it is. You might be in that space of struggle, trying to find balance, but it might be a challenge for you right now. So we have the Page of Swords in the near future. So this is a new cycle, and Swords of Truth. So some sort of useful information coming in, you getting help from people around you to further your ambition. This could be a contract coming your way regarding a job, regarding an offer, some sort of agreement, really good. Everything that I sort of mentioned over there. This could also be somebody communicating with you, right? And the fact that you have Uranus in the third house of communication, I'm not going to be surprised if somebody reaches out to you sort of out of nowhere, right? Because Uranus is all about shocking surprises, and third house is Gemini, which is air, and the Page of Swords, this is air, and this is like something that would incite a new beginning. So very interesting, but you're going to be really stressing out about this new information coming in. I don't know. 10 of Wands is very overwhelmed, and something's going to be very burdensome on you. So I feel like on the one hand, this positive offer is going to come in. Something positive is happening, but you're going to have a hard time dealing with it. Let me see why. Let's see what the story is. All right, you learned your lesson. It was something that was ended. Something walked away. You're patient. But you're realizing you still have fire in your belly for something. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, Pisces. Sorry for the delay. I was just thinking here, reading the cards. So I want to know the story with this outcome energy. So the first card up is the World. So you were dealing with some sort of situation where you were like, this is so great. This business opportunity that I'm in, this job I have, this relationship, whatever. I feel like there was something that you were in where you were just like, yes, this is it. You know, I've put in a lot, this is Saturn, I've put in a lot of work, I've learned my lesson, right? But then there was this ending to it. This Eight of Cups energy is about departure and change and knowing that something didn't feel right anymore. Sadness but no regret at a particular point, right? You're leaving the situation, at least emotionally. You're really going to work on yourself. And then there's a lot of patience, hard work, working on yourself, but also recognizing that it did seem like something was just really awesome and then it ended. And this could be because somebody thought it needed to end. You thought you needed it to end, or the situation had to end because it was very sort of not working out, like that job situation, maybe because of COVID, something like that. Something needed to be very altered, right? But with the Seven of Pentacles, again, this is about hard work paying off, being really patient, there being a lot of potential for success, and you not giving up on something. Even if it was just like kind of like energetically. Yeah, you definitely still had fire in your belly for a person or a situation. There's no question, right? And you're in the space of recognizing you've been fighting very long and hard in something, and you're really tired of that fighting. You're tired of it. But you still have fire in your belly to see something through, having to do with that job, that opportunity, that person, that situation. But you, even if only within yourself, feel very defensive or were feeling very defensive. But you want to just make sure that you weren't keeping yourself right in that negative mindset. Because what happens if they're the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands? Can't do this anymore, right? So this needs to maintain balance, but it looks like it was kind of hard for you to maintain some sort of balance. Then we have the Chariot in the reverse. This is a tricky energy here in the reverse, because this is about arrogance and self-indulgence, and this can manifest as a person just sort of spiraling out of control, going off the right path. Egotism, selfishness could be indicated here. So there's definitely a change in focus is needed. So this could be an energy that you were dealing with, or this could be some energies that you were struggling with, right? And if you were, Pisces, do not beat yourself up. It's not the end of the world. It just means you might have been in such a heavy state of self-defense, feeling just so damn tired from something. Because there was definitely this energy of overwhelm, right? But this is telling me the story of the Ten of Wands. So very interesting. Because it's like you learned this lesson, right? There's something needed to be left. But yet you were still very patient. You still had fire in your belly for them. But either you or somebody else sort of went off the rails for a hot minute. But then as the clarifies for the final outcome here, we have the Star, which is great. I mean, this is about hope and guidance and a change for the better after a difficult time. This is an Aquarius energy, which is ruled by Uranus, right? So again, that Uranus energy is hanging out in your 3rd house and Aquarius is in your 12th house. So I feel like, on a subconscious level, you're wanting change, you're wanting to transform something, and you need to speak to somebody about something. This could also, 3rd house also rules like communication on the internet. So maybe utilizing the internet in a way, reaching out, communicating, throwing something out there to make something happen for yourself. So for example, like if you're trying to sell your house or rent something, lease something, get something out there, utilizing the internet and things going well for you here. But what do you need healing from? We have the Devil energy and we have the 8 of Wands. So first of all, I feel like either you're reaching out to somebody. I keep saying this, but hello, you have Uranus in the 3rd house. But the 8 of Wands is good news coming in. Lots of busy communication. This is great if you've been feeling held back or stuck, waiting for a decision, waiting to hear from somebody, waiting to figure out how to contact somebody. This is great news about love, especially if you've been separated. But what is in the middle is the Devil. And this is where the shackling and the imbalance is, right? So this could have to do with any shackling, from addiction to narcissistic tendencies to cheating, to any area where you feel like the relationship, the situation was not being handled in the right way and it was getting in the way of there being success. So this could even be like, let's say if you're trying to sell your house, I'm not taking $1 below this. I'm not bending when it comes to what I'm willing to accept in that kind of thing. That's also Devil energy, right? Because it's digging so deeply in that lack of flexibility can end up shackling the situation from being able to move forward. But it could also indicate addiction. It could indicate anxiety and depression unchecked, untreated. It can indicate, again, like I mentioned, narcissistic tendencies, deflection, gaslighting, name calling, all those ugly kind of energies if it has to do with any sort of relationship. But what I see is there's healing here. There's healing of that energy, and it's going to happen through some kind of communication because we have Mercury in Sagittarius here. So I like this energy for you. I do, that Mercury and Sagittarius energy, that's like that 4th house, 10th house energy. Nice. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for this. So I'm going to go into relationship read now, okay? I'm going to start with our single friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Remember, it's only for 1 week, from the 8th through the 15th. I'm not sure if I even said that, so sorry for that if I didn't. So let's pull for our single friends. Okay, too many. So the 3 swords and the Queen of Cups. So there needs to be a conversation about how somebody was hurt, even if it's just with yourself. Maybe just like a simple processing of something that happened. Okay, so let's do a 7-card ellipse. Past, present, future, advice, external other, hope and fear, outcome, Tower reverse. Okay, Pisces, what do I feel like last week? I feel like whenever I do a singles read, there's still some Pisces energy that for some reason I just connect to that's just not over. I'm going to say something in the past or a hurt in the past that might be coloring something. Now, for some of you, let me just read two things that I'm getting. You might have been really, really happy with somebody in the past where you felt like you were in a very mutually supportive relationship, right? Where things maybe weren't good, then they were good, then they weren't good, and then you finally like, okay, let's put this back together, let's nurture this thing. But the current situation is a lot of confusion about that person. So you might be single, but you might sort of be in between things. So the hangman energy is sort of this kind of thing where you might be in a position where you're waiting around for this person, right? Some person to acknowledge you with the same intention that you have for them, but you're not able to get the commitment or the attention or the validation or something from them, whatever coming in, or you might be the one unwilling to commit. You might have another energy that's sort of waiting for you to reach out to them. But whatever it is, I feel like you're going to be in this space where it's like, I don't know, is it worth it? Is it worth the effort? Right? Because you may feel like in order for the situation to work, you're going to have to somehow sacrifice something that matters to you. And you're very sensitive to that, right? As the hangman is Neptune, and Neptune is your ruler. This is your ruler energy here. So it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like a little trepidatious about this. So this could have to do with somebody new coming in, of course, right? Anybody, particularly like a new energy, you guys are unattached. You might be meeting somebody new, but you're not sure how this new person, where they actually stand with you. But for some of you, it could also be where you sort of made this commitment with somebody in the past and you're still confused about them. So depending on where you at, those are the different ways that it can manifest. But in the future, we have the death and rebirth energy here. So this could be a couple of different things. First of all, and I'm only saying this because we have this North Node energy in Gemini in your 4th house. Some of you guys might be moving. Your living circumstances might change because you realize where you're living no longer meets your overall needs. And if you're single, you're like, why the hell not? Let me just get out of here so you can move on and manifest something better for yourself someplace else. If that's what you're feeling, right? I'm getting that for some of you. But for others of you, it's this recognition that whatever is starting here or whatever it is that you're thinking about, obviously the relationship is over, but the separation was like very, very necessary if you guys are ever going to like grow your legs at any point in the future, right? So I feel like the energy of transformation is going to be happening in the future because this is not only about endings, it's a rebirth as well. So I kind of feel like in between the Two of Cups and the Hangman energy, the ending happened and you guys were away from each other. And now it's this energy of rebirth. And what's interesting here is the card of advice is the 10 of Cups, which is about, everything fabulous, family contentment, anything that you have on your mind having to do with relationship, finally coming together. You know what I mean? So communication, the romance, the figuring it out so that you guys could actually be together. Because the 10 cards are very sort of like family energies. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands, not so much. So we have this external person that you're dealing with, the High Priestess. So this could be the external energy that's surrounding you right now, and that may very well be you, right? Especially because where the moon is hanging out when it comes to romance, this very, very intuitive moon is in the 5th house of romance. So this could be the energy surrounding you. But you also may be dealing with somebody who's very, very intuitive. This can be somebody who... because this is external, you might be speaking with somebody privately, Pisces, right? You might be in communication with somebody where she's not saying anything, he's not saying anything, to their friends in their life. You're not saying anything to your friends in your life. There might be some sort of secretive thing. It's because the High Priestess is also secret. So you might be totally on the up and up, but you might be dealing with somebody who might be holding back secrets. But I see the challenge here is the 7 of Pentacles. The challenge is the patience that may be required, the hard work that may be required. I mean, this can have a lot of potential for success, right? Something here. But you're feeling very challenged by it. We have the final outcome energy is the Tower reverse, which tells me, like, you might find yourself, you might or might not find yourself taking responsibility even when you're blameless for something, right? But this could also indicate you holding on to a relationship that's just not strong enough to go the long term, Pisces, right? What do I feel like? It's like you might be sort of clinging to an old narrative or something from the past that you really believe to be something that could be this fabulous, fabulous relationship. And you're sort of clinging to that idea or that dream, right? Only to realize that your fears are likely to materialize here. And it's kind of like the collapse of something is inevitable, but you can't help. It's like, I'm not saying, it's like not meant to happen. That's the best thing for me to say. It's just not meant to be. Something is not meant to be. Let's see if we can't find out what's going on here. The Six of Swords is about that moving on, right? Detaching, allowing some space. And then we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse, is this idea of being let down, feeling depressed, feeling disappointed that something didn't work out. And we have the Emperor reverse. You might have been dealing with somebody who had narcissistic tendencies, who's super domineering, where they'll say or do anything to get their own way. Egotism, crossing boundaries. You might have been struggling with this. They might have been struggling with this. Somebody certainly was. And then we have the Hermit energy, where you're sitting and thinking about, you know, past situations, past relationships, past cycles, so that you don't repeat mistakes. You really don't want to repeat mistakes. Trying to figure out what happened here. Like, really what happened. And we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse is somebody with very unrealistic expectations. So you want to see, are you the one with unrealistic expectations, or was somebody else that person? We have the Four of Pentacles, being in a space where you're very focused on your security and protecting yourself. And the Judgment reverse is all about you feeling stuck in the past, or you know, you might be struggling to learn a lesson that's there for you, Pisces, right? You might find yourself stuck in old patterns that you're not really totally ready to break free from yet. And that could end up bringing on some sort of delay, or, you know, in your ability to be able to like really like move on, where you almost feel like trapped, right? You know, metaphorically, and unable to progress without really understanding why. It's like, why can't I do this? Why can't I just move on? Why can't I just, you know, be happy in another situation? Why can't I do this? But the best thing to do here is to just accept the past. Accept it for the beauty, accept it for the ugly. Just understand, recognize it as something that was. Have compassion for the person that you were in the situation. Know that everybody did the best they knew how in that situation. And you can decide to be free as you move forward into another relationship of that, but allowing that to heal. And you're doing a lot of really good energy work on yourself, I feel like. Four of Swords is a great energy to do shadow work, therapy, stepping back for perspective. Really nice. Nine of Cups, you being happy, damn it. Right? Focusing on that. Just watch out that you're not partying too much. Watch out. The Three of Cups, got a little scared of that. Watch out for engaging and getting sucked into too much gossip. Make sure that you're watching out that you're not dealing with any sort of imbalance or unfairness. Because don't be surprised if you're sucked into this, particularly because we did get the Judgment in the reverse energy, and even the Tower in the reverse. You want to be careful of this. Getting the Temperance in reverse can indicate that you might be feeling challenged by something that needs to change, but the stress of this past situation that's currently impacting your life, it's kind of getting in the way of you being able to move forward, not feeling stuck, right? Difficult memories of the past making you feel stuck, making you feel held back in your ability to move forward. So even though you're focusing on happiness, there's something that's that like last chord, there's something there. You're at an emotional stalemate. You need to make a decision. You want to protect yourself. But some sort of situation that's eating away at you is not going to be going away. Nine of Swords is about anxiety and overwhelm. And it's like you're not responding well to this. You can't figure out what to do. Page of Pentacles. Nice. That's it. This is about a new beginning. New beginning. Focusing on a new beginning. Looks like you need to have a conversation with somebody. Doesn't have to be with this person from the past. Maybe you just need to talk to a friend about what's going on. Talk to a therapist. It just does seem like some sort of information, some sort of conversation is going to be super helpful for you right now. So remember, this is only for the 8th through the 15th. I feel like I can pull cards all day in this reading. But we have to get to our other friends who are in different versions of relationships. So let's move on to our friends who are in a partnered relationship. Okay. Friends who are partnered in a partnered situation. They might be going through. So we have the Four of Cups in the past, which is moving on in forgiveness, hope returning. So you guys might have been going through something that you were like, all right, you know, let's try to figure this out, right? And we have the Six of Wands in reverse is about retreating. It's like giving up, you know, giving up, not having confidence right now in whether the relationship can actually work. And then in the near future, we have the Knight of Wands, which is you just firing up your ambition, things speeding up, blocks being lifted. You making a decision. It's like decision time. What are we going to do? Okay, so we have the Fool. So definitely need some sort of new approach to something. The Fool is nice, right? I mean, this is an Aries ruled by Uranus energy. This is for some of you. First of all, this could be just doing things differently than before, kind of like going with the flow. But however you guys were doing it before, trying to get to the bottom of that. That's so much easier said than done, right? With some of you, this is like getting up, getting very fired up and saying, the hell with this, I can't do this anymore, and wanting to just go on a different path. So it depends on what else is aspecting your chart, obviously. But the energy external to you or surrounding you, so this could be another person that you're dealing with. This could just be the energy surrounding you. First of all, you're very focused on taking care of yourself, your body, your mind, your finances. This could be this external energy, somebody who's very reliable, supportive, affectionate, generous. You know, you feel like they would make a really good partner in the home. As an influence, this could indicate marriage. This could indicate money coming to those of you who are like actively like coupled. That would be in that space. If you're in that space of waiting for that, it is about good financial management, which is good. Fertility, which is good. So this is sort of like surrounding you here. But what's interesting is the block is the Ace of Cups in the reverse, which is being let down, feeling depressed, feeling disappointed in something. And then we have the Queen of Wands. You're stepping into your power, ideas popping. You knowing what needs to be done in order to make something happen. Focusing on the right thing in relationship. So yeah, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups in the reverse. Again, that one keeps coming up. Ten of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the World card. Yeah, nice. So this is you being very patient, putting a lot of work into the relationship. But there's this idea of maybe partying too much or just not feeling like you're very supported in this relationship. Right? This doesn't mean that anybody's partying like that. It's going to resonate with some. But you might be in this space where it's like you're very patient, you're putting a lot of work into something, and you're like, I'm not getting the support that I need. Then we have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is very important to you. Again, all about this family, this contentment, right? Great energy for relationship, great energy for communication and all of that. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, very auspicious for pretty much every area of your life whenever this pops up in a spread, but you getting what it is that you want in this relationship. But it's because there's kind of like this new start. We have the Queen of Swords, very motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation of somebody. This is a very strong energy. This is a very determined energy as well, but very wise, right? It's the owl, very wise. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. I like it in this card because it's the bees, busy bees, building, working together as a unit, right? This is a good energy to indicate collaborating and coming together to actually build something. But this is you being very kind of in your King of Swords energy, right? Again, this is another energy showing up. You relying on your logic, staying outwardly calm, focusing on your mind instead of your heart. Because you've learned your lesson in the past. Going the other way didn't help you. The world is a Saturn energy. It's like, all right, so I learned my lesson. Thank you very much. Been there, done that. Not going back to that. So that's completed. So now I'm ready for the success. I'm ready for the joy. You're ready for the happiness and the fulfillment and the love. So I feel like you're changing your approach to something. And you're allowing your logic to sort of be very involved in, not that you didn't always, that kind of sounds ridiculous, but I just feel like you're not going to allow your emotions to run the show right now. I'm not saying forever, but right now, because there's a lot of growth going on. Of course, you can't have Saturn. I mean, look, the world energy, the Saturn, this is happening in your 12th house, the subconscious of you hitting it in your home, right? So this is you recognizing if you want to be happy in relationship, in this relationship, you have to sort of change your strategy in relationship. This is not to say that you're to blame for anything that's challenging that comes up. It's not to say that you are or aren't. It just means that tweaking the way you handle something that's maybe outdated in your subconscious mind is definitely going to benefit you here. That's all. That's all it means. I actually think that's a pretty good reading there. All right, so let's go on to our complicated friends. Okay. Complicated relationship. So this, maybe you guys are in separation. Maybe you're together, but you're like worlds apart, kind of thing. It's so weird, right? When you're like sharing a bed with somebody and you feel like you're on separate ends of the universe. Could be like that. The Sun reverse. King of Swords. Okay. Queen of Cups. Wow. So yeah, I mean, the sun, first of all, the sun, there's no way of looking at the sun as negative, upside down, right side up, sideways. This just means delay. It just means delay. Something's delayed. Somebody might be dealing with some depression. Right now, you might be in a space of waiting, right? Waiting for something to happen. But there's a lot of joy as far as what it is that you feel towards somebody that you are in this situation, and they feel the same for you. And I know a lot of you guys are like, no, they don't. Yeah, they do. But the thing is, right now, this person, you're dealing with the King of Swords in reverse energy. This is somebody who's kind of like, this could be you, this could be them, this could be a little bit of both of you. Not healthy exchange of communication, that's for sure. This could be verbal abuse. This could be like a bullshit artist, a con man, somebody who's just very corrupt, And we have in the near future, though, the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about really very much firing up your passion, your ambition, but it's about a proposal coming in, and a proposal that's going to come in and it's going to lift blocks. It's going to speed things up. One way or another, some sort of decision is going to be coming in the near future. That Knight of Wands energy, yeah. This is Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, so it's about transformation of something in order to move something forward, to be realized, because Sagittarius is all about truth and being able to realize what it is that we really want. So clarifying that, we have the Queen of Cups is the advice energy. Queen of Cups is like, be open to love, right? I mean, the advice here is just be open, exercise a very high emotional intelligence if you can. Don't be afraid of intimacy. Have the conversation that you need to have about what's needed to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure in something. But certainly there needs to be some sort of communication and conversation about something that's gone on here. The energy surrounding you right now, and even the person that you're dealing with may be experiencing this as well, is some anxiety and overwhelm. Could be some depression going on here, just not responding well to the stress of the situation. So they might not be responding well, you might not be responding well. But it's all rooted in some sort of anxiety. Now, the block here is the Justice energy. So the Justice is, it's marriage, it's serious partnership, it's all of that, but it's about fairness. So as a block, I feel like you're experiencing this as, is everything happening in a fair way? Or are you very worried about somebody being dishonest? Are you very worried about somebody being unfair? Right? Are you worried if you're in any sort of like legal contract with them? Are you worried about how that might end up manifesting? Maybe obviously if it's got to do with like a lawsuit or needing to square up some sort of investment or property that you guys have going on. But that's your block. That's your challenge here. It's like, right, this thing, I want it to be fair, right? You want your emotional needs met, and you want there to be things, you want something to roll out in an equitable way. And I feel like it is, because we ended up getting the Lovers in the upright as the final outcome energy here. And this is great. I mean, this is a Gemini energy. It's a Gemini energy. First of all, this is about sitting down and saying, all right, something is not perfect, but if we're going to work this out, we need to sit down really seriously, have the conversation, because it's Gemini, and Gemini rules the third house of conversation and communication. So you have to have this talk, and it has to be like verbally, like said out loud. We're a little bit messy, okay, but we love each other. This has a lot of value. So we need to sit down and figure out how we can strategize a way to make this work so that we're both working at it equally, so that Archangel Raphael can bless this union, right? But it's the two of you coming together and saying that. It's not you saying that and them sitting there like, yeah, exact, whatever. No, right? It's got to be very equitable here. Judgment, beautiful. I love it. This is a great energy to give as a clarifier for the Lovers, because, this is, first of all, this is a Pluto energy, right? So it's definitely about allowing this transformation to happen, but it's about assessing the relationship and shifting it into a new phase. Now, for a lot of you, even though things might be icky, you might still be together. Others of you, you're not together, you're in separation. Again, I'm going to pull some separation energies in a minute, but there might be a need for reconciliation, but only if you think the relationship is worth it. Only if you think it's worth it. But there is this need to assess and let go of the past. Whatever happened, and you have to make that decision, though. This is like the spiritual awakening kind of energy. 3 of Cups, very celebratory energy. The support that you were feeling lacking maybe at one point is back. This is good news. 3 is the number of creation. Really excellent energy for healing as well. What do you got to heal? Look at the center card. Is this card of pain? 3 of Swords. So what happened here, right? I mean, the heartbreak, the pain of a truth, the betrayal. What was very cloudy and foggy? Where was the confusion, right? All of that is just going to sort of not be an issue anymore. Doesn't seem like it. Page of Pentacles, new chapter. Very nice. Doing some diligent work there. The 5 of Cups. It's loss, leaving, and sadness. Not feeling ready for something to move forward. The need to work on self. Let's just finish pulling the cards. Ace of Cups. Very nice. Hangman. Pisces, you keep getting your own energy. Oh, and the Fool. All right. Okay. So, I mean, with the 3 of Swords, you need to communicate and be very supportive about what's been going on, right? You be very open, and you need to expect them to be open as well, though. Who needs to work on what? Whatever this pain is, what happened? You have to go into this next phase being super open about that, about the feeling of sadness, about whatever the situation not working out and the sadness that you felt. Pisces, you might need to be saying, look, I didn't even see it coming. I wasn't ready for the relationship to end. I had to just go off and work on myself at that point. But this is like, these things need to be talked about. And then we have the Ace of Cups, though. This is brand spanking new, right? This is strong love and support. Really nice energy here. Beautiful. Falling in love. Very nice. But still just feeling like, I'm not sure how this person feels. I'm not sure. Trying to be very wise. I'm not sure. I don't want to be taken advantage of. I'm not sure. But you know what? I feel like the conversation is going to be going on there, because then we have the Fool. So there's going to be this understanding where things need to be handled in a different way. Absolutely. Knight of Cups. Yes, you're going to be having that conversation. Yeah. Aquarius and Pisces, very emotional energy, right? Definitely, but there's some sort of proposal, some sort of offer. Let's try this again. Let's give this a go. So some sort of proposal is coming in to do something different, handle the relationship in a much different way. Yeah. Now, if you're not resonating with that, I don't know what else is aspecting your chart, but that's what I'm feeling. Yes, there's a card of betrayal. There's some sort of narcissism trickled in here, but it does seem like somebody's heart is still, like their energy is still with you. How that's going to manifest, let's see. But the energy is definitely available for that. Somebody's intention is definitely in that space, is what I'm seeing. All right, so let's just see for those of you in separation. I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. I didn't realize I loved you until it was too late. I'm so sorry. I couldn't go against my family to be with you. And I always get like family and friends. So this could also be a situation where maybe they spoke to their family or their friends a little too much about you, and they created their own sense. You love when people like create this whole narrative about you when they don't even really know you. And this could be somebody feeling like, oh, well, you know, I would be too uncomfortable to actually go against them. So I still have dreams about you and our happy times together, meeting up and conversing, feeling uplifted in friendship. I didn't realize I loved you until it was too late. We have insane chemistry, like each other equally and having fun. And I couldn't go against my family to be with you. And we have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. So look, I mean, I know some of you are like, hell no, you know, my person's not coming back, whatever, whatever. Obviously, it depends on what else is aspecting your chart. But whoever's resonating with this is for somebody. Somebody still has deep feelings for you, Pisces. And it does seem like somebody wants to fix something here. It does seem like. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.